Bonjour, bienvenue de Chocolat au Caca podcast with me, Eamonn.
And me, Eamonn.
Welcome to the first of our many series of the Finer Things in Life edition. Kevin, it is a delight to be here with you, my friend.
Absolutely, sir.
Yes, sir.
I cannot wait.
Oh, I can't wait. I get. Not only do I get to spend time with you hanging out, but I also get to eat some food.
Yes.
Now,
Delectable delights.
I'm going to just move our chocolate or poo sign over to the side for just a moment. We'll put it back in. We'll put it back in when we're back later on. But
Hold that thought. I forgot my
What did you forget, Kevin?
homework.
Oh, you forgot some very good information. Right, well, what Kevin is getting there off camera is some information about cheese. This is an episode about cheese, the finer things in life.
Cheese.
Yes, one of the finest things in life is cheese.
Oh,
Let me
is.
Let me just tell you what we have in front of us here today.
Okay, what have we got?
We have, starting on the outside here, we have, as you can see there, I put them all in order the same way on my plate as with yours. We have some crackers and cheese and a little bit of pate to go with it. But we have, thanks to Kevin, a delicious double Gloucestershire with onion and chives, which is this one.
Lovely.
We have a white Stilton with apricots, which
Very nice.
I'm curious about.
Yeah.
We have a British caramelised onion and chive, what do you call it? Cheddar.
Cheddar, lovely.
Sorry, no chive, just a British caramelised onion and cheddar.
Yeah.
And then you have a Tipperary brie. And then we have this whiskey and nut.
Whiskey and nut one, that's this
Whiskey
guy.
and nut one, that's that big one there, yeah.
That should be very tasty. And so we have some tomatoes.
And we have some tomatoes and crackers and pate
Crackers.
to go with that. I thought we could taste
Yes.
the cheese and then just eat as we're
talking. So.
This is all Kevin's idea today. This is the first episode of our Finer Things in Life, and it was Kevin who was like, let's do cheese.
I love cheese. I could eat a block of cheese.
We're about to.
Very much of you.
Yeah.
Conglomerated it all
So
together.
Kevin, please,
Dig in.
start us off with hit me with some knowledge.
Oh, right, sorry.
While we
hit
think
me with some cheese.
Hit me with some cheese. Yeah.
Okay,
While we think about it, yeah.
you get yourself prepared there.
I
will hit you with some beautiful cheesy goodness,
knowledge, yes.
cheesy knowledge. So according to ancient records passed down through the centuries,
Yes.
the making of cheese dates back to more than 4,000 years ago.
Nice.
No one really knows who made the first cheese. According to an ancient legend, it was made accidentally by an Arabian merchant who put a supply of milk into a pouch made from a sheep's stomach. As he said, out across the day's journey, across the desert barren land, the rennet, which is an enzyme inside of the lining of the stomach, combined with the heat of the sun, caused the milk to separate and curd and whey, into curd and whey. That night he found that the whey satisfied his thirst and the cheese curd left over had a delightful flavour which satisfied his hunger.
Well,
There you go.
on that little piece of fantastic note, I think we should try.
dig in.
We should try our. Which do you want to start with?
I want to go for the whiskey one.
The whiskey one. Okay, whiskey
Yes.
and nut. Okay, I'm gonna try a little
Whiskey.
Whiskey and nut here. I'm gonna try a little bit.
Whiskey.
Whiskey. Cool whip.
Cool whip.
That's delicious. I like that. I just tried it on its own. I didn't even use the cracker or anything. But that is. I'm gonna try it with a bit of pate now and stuff. But that is.
Light.
It's a bit light but nice. Yeah.
Squishy.
Yeah, it's soft. It is soft.
It's
Yeah.
soft cheese, yeah.
But that is. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. That's really nice. Yeah, that's a good cheese.
That is a really good
Like
cheese.
that.
Yeah. And we got that in the local supermarket. It wasn't even like it's.
No, it wasn't like a very high-end,
No.
expensive cheese.
No, but it's just really tasty.
Euro to euro. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely you can have that on a cheese board at Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, with a little bit of wine and stuff like. Oh yeah.
Loads of different sauces and things.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
different, like
Well,
we have here.
Yeah, you like we have it here, but
Exactly.
even with different type of crackers, like
Yeah.
those garlic crackers and the black pepper and
Sea
sea salt ones, and
or
yeah,
black pepper. or
that is a
something
really
like
tasty cheese.
Very tasty.
Very good, Kevin.
Will I hit with?
Oh,
will I hit you with or not?
Hit me with that fermented milk, please, my friend.
It's more history about cheese. So travelers from Asia are believed to have brought the art of cheese making to Europe. In fact, cheese was made in many parts of the Roman Empire when it was at its height. The Romans in turn introduced cheese making to England. During the Middle Ages, from the decline of the Roman Empire until the discovery of American cheese, was made and improved by the monks in the monasteries across Europe. For example, Gorgonzola was made in the Po Valley in Italy around 879 AD, and Italy became the cheese-making centre of Europe during the 10th century. Roquefort was also mentioned in the ancient records of the monastery at Conques, France, as early as 1070.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Pretty
Right.
cool.
What's next on our?
What I want to try is the this one here, which is the British cheddar, simply because I have no knowledge about cheese except for one little nugget.
Go for it.
Cheddar comes from a place in England called Cheddar Gorge.
And we will gorge ourselves
I'm telling you,
with their cheddar.
And I only know that because there was a video game called Resistance Fall of Man, and there was a jump on in the driving of the game, and it was the Cheddar Gorge was where they had the jump. And your man goes, yes, it is after the cheese. So there you go. Right.
I'm going to eat it on its own without the
Okay.
Wow, that's a lot stronger than
That
the
is very
whiskey
strong.
cheese.
Very cheese and ironically cheese and oniony taste. It's like a good strong cheese and onion crisp. It's a little bit vinegary, but it's nice.
Tato or Walkers?
Let me taste it again.
Tato or Walkers?
Oh, which do I like? Oh, I thought you meant King.
Okay, sorry, it's supposed to be Tato or King.
No. I do. I like all three, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's actually nice. That's not
very
bad.
tasty.
Yeah.
Very, very tasty. Yeah.
Now,
a little bit more.
I can imagine that. No, the thing about it is the only thing I will say about it is its consistency. It's very crumbly.
Yeah, it's not soft.
I was just kind of thinking that it would be lovely if you
sprinkled it.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I toasted it on cheese on toast.
Yeah,
it would be lovely.
Yeah,
but it's a little yeah, with a little rice. It's a very crumbly one, but that's the only downside I could find is that it wouldn't spread very easily. You'd be flaking bits of it everywhere. But when it's melted, it doesn't matter.
We forgot our tomatoes. I'm going to finish off that little piece with some tomato. Don't mind my fingers, Kevin. I won't get.
Everything's been cleaned and sanitized anyway, so pre-consumption. Yes,
exactly. All right, more knowledge about cheese. Cheese making continued to flourish in Europe and became an established food. In fact, the Pilgrims included cheese and the Mayflower supplies when they made their voyage to America in 1620.
There you go.
The making of cheese quickly spread to the New World, but until the 19th century it remained a local farm industry. It wasn't until 1851 that the first cheese factory in the United States was built by Jesse Williams in Oneida County, New York. There you go. I keep forgetting the camera's here now.
Yeah, I keep forgetting the camera's there as well. Because I'm kind of like I'm leaning over here to this, and I'm just kind of
Someone lost their laptop charger. Oh, as you might notice, we are wearing fancy ties.
Because this is a finer things in life edition. Je vais te rentrer. Bonjour mes amis, c'est moi, Mickey Mouse. There you go. My son loves Mickey Mouse and he watches it in French in Disney.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Okay.
Yes.
I won't go into more history. I think that's enough history.
That's enough history of cheese.
Yeah.
Well, then, you know what? An interesting little fact about cheese. You were talking about that Arabian.
You mentioned this to me before.
The Mongolians used to do that with the mare's milk from their horses, and sometimes they have sheep's milk as well.
Yeah.
They would make alcohol out of it because they used to drink arrig, and it was made from sheep's milk. But they would also make cheese, and they would like that. It would curd.
Yeah.
In the saddlebag. The guys would have that under the saddle between the horse and themselves.
Yeah.
So that when they were riding along and everything else, it would get nicely warm and mixing and everything else, and they would just be able to reach into this pouch and just get globules of it. And it was fatty food that the men on the horse could go with, and they would also mix it with a little bit of the horse's blood.
Yeah.
Put a little cut in his neck and take the blood. And would mix that with the cheese and cheesy, milky bits, and would drink it. And it would, well, they conquered the largest empire in the world on it. So
there's an interesting fact in here, something about that kind of people. So as we delve into the knowledge
pile of cheese, yes. I'm looking up here. I don't know why I'm looking up here. I'm like the knowledge pile of cheese.
This is a strange episode.
It says we're trying out different recordings.
Yeah, we are,
but it is fantastic.
It is delicious.
Right, that's next. I just want to say that nutty cheese. I'm going back to the nut cheese.
Just finished mine, I think. Oh no, I didn't. I did because that's just the skin.
It's just the skin. You're right. Oh yeah.
Well,
I took the wax off. It should be okay.
Try a little bit of the pate. Good life, man.
The good life, my man. It's good life. It's winter. We have to pack on the pounds now. Pack on the pounds. So, what cheese are you going to make me try next?
So, I'm not going to make you try this cheese. It's called Kazu Marzu.
Oh.
Of course, the first cheese on the list has to be the cheese that literally translates from the Sardinian language as rotten cheese. So these are a list of rotten and manky cheese that I discovered from my search online. It is made from sheep's milk and goes beyond the fermentation stage to the decomposition stage when it's consumed. It gets to the decomposition stage thanks to the purposeful introduction of insect larvae, namely the cheese fly. The larvae eat the cheese, break down the fats and the dairy product, and this increases the overall fermentation of the cheese. The cheese is eaten when the maggots from the introduced insects' eggs are actively crawling. Not to put us off the rest of our cheese.
Of course not.
Of course.
It's cheese. Nothing will put me off it now, in fairness. So, it's other food that would put me off. If I was eating a ham sandwich or that, I'd be destroyed. But cheese, I'm not. You were saying that with maggots, and I was like, caramelized onion cheese. I'm like, yeah.
The flavour of the cheese is extremely sharp and can linger in your mouth for several hours. Don't worry though, it is generally considered unsafe to eat the cheese if the maggots have died. If you refrigerate the cheese, however, you're still free to ingest. There you go. That's a weird cheese on the list as we're going through
the Italians. I've been to Italy. They're wonderful, wonderful people. Never been to is it Sardinia?
Sardinia.
Never been to Sardinia. I don't think I want to now.
Right.
After that, right. What have I tried next, my friend? Brie. Oh God.
Yeah, you gave me the bigger lump of brie because you.
Yes, I did. I have a funny feeling I am not going to appreciate this brie.
I will because I will love it.
Yes.
The first time I ever tried brie, as far as I remember, I used to work in a hotel chain up in Dublin, and I went to the little restaurant on site for my lunch, and I got this slice of it was like a deep fried triangle, and I was like, okay, that looks alright. I'll have that, please. So as I tucked into it, it was brie. It was deep fried brie, and I tucked into it, and it all started melting. And I was like, okay, so it's cheese, obviously. Yeah, it is. And I was like, no, don't like that. It tastes like cow shit. And I never really had it since. But then a couple of years ago, it was at Christmas time actually, and we had all cheese boards out and stuff. And I started just tried a little bit, and I love it now. I just think it, whatever way it was done, deep fried.
Yeah, it's just obviously it affected the taste of it. The only thing I know about brie is that rich people tend to put ecstasy into the globules of it, and just when they're having brie parties.
This isn't a brie party. That is nice. Yeah, that is a nice brie. Oh yeah. Be nice on that whole cracker with a nice bit of sauce or something with it as well.
Wow, there's a bit of a sharp edge to it, but not bad.
Just hold on a second.
No, that is actually not bad. And that one was it's a farmhouse Tipperary brie that we got, and again in the same supermarket. Not exactly high end. I mean, you get these each for about anywhere between €1 and €2 to €3. I think it's €2.70, €2.80 for some of them. Like the whiskey and the brie, I think it was like $2.70 or $2.80 each. I mean, that's actually not bad. No, I mean, there's a little bit of a kick off it, and everything else.
Lingering taste afterwards, but it is quite nice. And it is a nice soft cheese, easy to
Well, I'm going to try it now with a bit of pate. You went with a big dollop of pate. I just wanted to get as much of a taste of it originally because I don't eat brie very often, so I wanted to really try it.
I'm going to try a bit now with a bit of tomato. Very nice. Okay. While you're eating.
With the pate, it's much better.
Isn't it? It really complements it. Yeah. Right, the next cheese on our rear cheeses is a cheese called Limburger.
Now, I have a funny feeling I may have heard of that before.
Well, let's find out. The only way to describe walking into a closet that is storing Limburger cheese is that smells like you just stuck your nose into some liquid armpit sweat. This worst cheese originated in the Limburg area of Europe, hence the name of the cheese, which is now portions of the Netherlands, Germany and Belgium. It's the most popular cheese you'll find in the United States. Oh, the United States?
Really?
Yeah. Most of the cheese you'll find, in fact, comes from one cheese plant in Monroe, Wisconsin. Limburger ferments by having bacteria smeared on it. It's the same bacteria that you'll find on your own body, which is why this kind of cheese smells like it needs a shower. So it's a dirty cheese, dirty. Black Book's reference. When it's first made, it actually looks like it tastes like feta cheese. After 3 months, however, the cheese becomes creamy and smelly. Mosquitoes, in fact, are just as attracted to the cheese as they are to human feet. Enjoy. We don't have it here, so we won't enjoy it.
The only thing I would say about Limburger cheese, when you said it was the most popular in America, I have a funny feeling it's in those places that are all over the news at the minute because of the US election.
Yeah.
And it's I understand that. I mean, like the Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, and all that. The Dutch, the Pennsylvania Dutch would have, so Europeans and Germans and they would have brought it with them. So that makes sense.
Their impact is felt many generations later.
This is one of the reasons why we're doing one of the Finer Things in Life edition of this podcast as well, is because
we're talking about politics.
You've got COVID, Brexit, recession, and then the American election. It was like we had to treat ourselves.
Come join us in a fancy time.
Come join us.
Good food.
Yeah.
Fancy
that was really nice. That's actually not bad.
Yeah. We're running out of cheeses to try, dude.
Well, we've got 2 more left.
Yeah.
I would love to try the white Stilton with apricot.
Okay.
So
I'll try that.
Yeah. I'm not going to use cracker or anything. I just want to get as much of the original cheese taste in my mouth with the apricot.
Before you add anything.
Before I add anything to it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What's it called again?
White Stilton.
Not usually a Stilton fan. That is nice. It's creamy.
I can't say I've ever had a Stilton before.
My family loves Stilton. Hey guys. But I wouldn't be a fan of it normally. That's quite nice. The apricot's really nice.
Yeah, I
It's
think the fruit kind of saves it a little bit. You know,
it's the sweetness of it. It's quite nice. Yeah, let's try a little bit of pate.
We're having some cream crackers with it because we had one of our colleagues decided to challenge us to eating 4 cream crackers in 2 minutes without a glass of water because apparently it's impossible. Apparently.
And we haven't done it.
We haven't done it, but you know,
we're not going to do it on this episode.
We're not going to do it on this episode because we don't have enough crackers.
No.
But what I will say is challenge accepted, colleague. Yeah.
Very nice. Right, next cheese on the list is called Puel.
Huel.
P-U-L-E. Puel is a tough cheese to get your hands on. It's so difficult, in fact, that you'll generally have to buy the milk to make it yourself. For some, that's enough to throw in the cheesecloth. See what I did there? But for avid home cooks, the challenge is on. The real difficulty is Puel is in the price. It's $1,700 per pound. Why?
Wow.
Because it's made from the donkey milk.
Oh.
To be fair, the cheese doesn't taste that bad as long as you ignore how much money you're actually going to spend to consume it with each bite. It takes about 25 litres of donkey milk to make just 2 pounds of the cheese, and then, just for added flavour, it is smoked.
Well, now just for me, because my metric head there, you said pounds. It takes how many litres? Sorry.
25.
25 litres of donkey milk to make 2 pounds. Now, 2 pounds it's 454 grams is 1 pound, so that's just about 908 grams of cheese, and you need 2.5 litres. To make just short of a kilo. Yeah, I suppose it's not bad. But I mean, I'm just wondering, is there any Irish farmers out there who could make donkey cheese?
If we asked them nicely.
I mean, come on, the French and the Germans are weird. They'd buy it.
They fucking would. First curse of the episode. Right, last one.
Ding, ding,
Ding, ding, ding. What's my prize? This one is called Milbenkasse. It looks kind of like Norwegian or something with the 2 dots above the A.
Yeah.
That's
Norwegian
really
or Swedish, yeah, wouldn't it? Or did the Swedes use the double dot?
I think they do, yeah. My cousin's in Sweden, I'm fairly sure they use them. Hey guys. If you don't mind, body bacteria in your cheese and maggots are fine as well. That's why not enjoy some food that has been flavoured. That's why not. That's written very poorly. That's what you'll get basically when you eat Milbenkasse, which is fermented by cheese mites. Even the start of the Milbenkasse making process sounds bad. It's made from quark. Star Trek.
Star Trek joke.
Which is essentially warmed up milk that has already gone sour. Sounds about right.
Yeah, well, it is. I mean, cheese is just milk gone off big time, isn't it?
Yeah, same with butter and all that kind of stuff. Not the sour cream kind of sour, mind you, but my toddler left a sippy cup full of milk under my bed for 3 days kind of sour.
Oh, mummy's milk.
Here we go. It is made exclusively in Germany, in the village of Workwitz. And at one point, 4 decades ago, only one person actually knew about how to put the mites into the cheese in such a way that would ferment it by eating it and pooping it out. It's like that coffee that they feed to cats or something, they shit it out. To help you get around the poopy flavour component, caraway salt and rye are added to the quark during the making process. If there's still mites in the cheese, don't worry. It's traditional to eat them too. Protein and all that.
It reminds me of ancient sailors. Did you ever see the TV show Hornblower?
Hornblower? I've never heard of it.
Oh my god, brilliant.
Is it
I have 2 little facts about Hornblower. One is this thing where you said about eating the mites in the cheese. It's set during the Napoleonic War on Royal Navy ships, and the guys used to have biscuits, and they would tap out the weevils, and they would gather them all up and eat the weevils as well because it was a good source of protein. The other thing about Hornblower was Winston Churchill wrote a telegram to one of his admirals saying, "I love Hornblower. It's fantastic. I'm glad you gave it to me. You gave me the to read Hornblower." And some of his staff ran around for about 2 days trying to figure out what Operation Hornblower was and didn't realise it was actually just a book about the Navy during the Napoleonic War. They thought it was some World War II operation they had to get information. Oh my God, Operation Hornblower, what the hell is that? I mean, it was like when they rescued the soldiers from Dunkirk, it was Operation Dynamo. And it was Operation Dynamo because somebody said, well, what's the name of the operation? We went, and he looked at the fan and it said Dynamo, and he goes, Dynamo.
Dynamo.
No joke, that's actually true.
Just literally looked at something and then boom. Right, well we speed on.
We speed on.
Myths about cheese that that are either they're all true, I think.
Well,
no, that's later.
Oh, that's later.
Put
Oh,
those
okay.
away.
Yeah, put those away.
Put
Well,
those
can we just
Yes,
try?
we'll
We'll try our last cheese, which is double Gloucestershire cheese with onions and chive.
Ooh, chive, yes.
And then we can read that while enjoying what's left of our
plate of deliciousness. Wasn't it? It's a very
I can't say I've ever had Gloucestershire cheese before.
Yeah.
That is really strong.
Yeah, it is.
That's like a double. Well, it is double Gloucestershire, but I mean that's like cheddar on. That's been to the gym. Now the chives with it, gives it that little kick. I always love chives, even in Philadelphia.
Yes.
You know, I mean that is lovely.
It is very tasty. It's very
Very strong smelling.
Texture as well. It's very sticky. Really, like, you know.
It is, yeah.
It sticks to your mouth. The palate sticks to the
Hence the tomato and pate you might need with it.
Yes. Very tasty.
Right,
Myths
crack on.
about
We've got some
cheese.
myths about cheese.
Right. Cheese gives you cheese. The myth one is cheese gives you nightmares. The origin of the myth is unclear. Our theory is that it originated from Charles Dickens' Ebenezer Scrooge, who blamed his nighttime visitations on a crumb of cheese. However, one of the amino acids in cheese, tryptophan, has been shown to actually reduce stress and induce sleep. So there you go.
Well, you know, they do say the same thing about a warm glass of milk. Now, I mean, I've seen that with a newborn baby. A warm bottle of mammy's milk will put him straight to sleep.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it's tryptophan is the ingredient there, because it is warm, curdling milk that you're doing.
But it's like, you know, the lullaby milk you can buy in the shops. They literally milk the cows at night time, and it's meant to put you asleep. Yeah.
My mind is being blown here. There's a thing called lullaby milk.
Lullaby milk. You can buy it in most shops have it. Big shops, obviously, chain shops, like your Tesco's or whatever. And it's a black bottle with with a little cow on it fast asleep. I worked we worked in social care. I worked in a house, and one of our people that I was working with, they couldn't go to sleep, so someone suggested we use lullaby milk. Now, I don't know if there's actually any science behind it, but it didn't work.
Placebo effect.
But no, this did not work in this case.
It's just because it's got a placebo effect. It's bollocks.
Or another.
Bollocks.
Unless it's a reverse placebo effect. I don't know. Anyway, myth 2. Cheese contains penicillin. It is true that the type of mold used to make blue cheese is part of the penicillin family, but it isn't able to produce penicillin, says the Food Standards Agency. If you're sensitive to penicillin, you can potentially have an allergic reaction to milk. But this will only happen if the animals that produce the milk have been treated with antibiotics. There you go.
Which, if you're living in the United States, will be a lot, because nearly every cow is treated with antibiotics. Which is why they tell Europeans travelling there to make sure that if you're going to have beef, even in a burger or anywhere in a restaurant, make sure it's well done.
Yeah, that's actually very good. I'm already finished.
Well, there is more over there if you'd like to have more of your cheese.
We'll leave it at that. After the home cooked dinner.
Same here.
So, myth 3 or 4, is it?
Yeah, myth number 3. You said nightmares and you said that cheese is penicillin.
Oh, I jumped to myth 3.
Oh.
I jumped. I thought I was finished that page. I'm not. So myth 3. Wine is the only drink that works with cheese.
Well, I do like a bit of wine and cheese, my friend.
Oh yes, I like the idea of it. It's more the idea of it.
No, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I do like a nice red wine. Depends on what you're eating.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because some wine does go with certain meats and things like that as well.
So the basic thing is it certainly complements it, but it certainly complements it nicely. But so too does beer. Look at the classic combo of a pint of bitter and a Plowman's.
Well, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I know the English are not exactly, it's cheddar, it's Gloucestershire, it's Worcestershire cheese. It's kind of the same cheese over and over again. But yeah, Plowman sandwich, with a pint of lager, yeah.
Lager might be nice, yeah. Myth number 4: mice love cheese. Cartoons have been using conning us all along. If you want to catch a mouse, don't load the trap with cheese. Research from Manchester Metropolitan University studied what attracted and what repelled the rodents and found out that they prefer foods with a lot of sugar, such as chocolate, as its natural diet is primarily made up of grains and fruit, both high in sugar. There's only a couple more. Myth 5.
Just go back to your nice one there. I always found that,
Butter.
KFC.
Or KFC.
KFC chicken, especially when you get it fresh. If you're like, there's a mouse in the attic and I'm getting them tonight, go down, get some KFC chicken, a little bit on the thing, within a minute or two, boom. Oh yeah, finger looking good.
We're not sponsored by KFC.
No, of course not. Unless they want to give me a free bucket of chicken.
Myth 5. Avoid cheese if you are lactose intolerant. People with lactose intolerance often find that they can eat cheese without any problems, it says the food standards. Yes, you can get lactose-free soft and hard cheese nowadays. Visit lactose-free, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we need to read that out.
Yeah.
And then we have the last one. It's myth 6. Cheese contains animal rennet, which is again these two enzymes
Oh, okay, right.
that break down. Some strict vegetarians avoid cheese in the belief that it is made using animal rennet, the ingredient that coagulates the milk. However, nearly all British cheese is suitable for vegetarians, says the British Cheese Board.
Yes.
Even if it does not say so on the label, because it is now made using a non-animal rennet alternative. So, all you veggies out there,
Vested interest in there. I do know there was a thing about yogurt and people who were Muslim, because it had something to do. I think it was to do with the bacteria in which they would use to turn the milk into yogurt. And I think they were at a time they were using a bacteria that came from, you know what you said at the start about that Arabian man who was using a sheep's stomach.
Yeah.
I think there was some of them may have been pig's stomach bacteria, and apparently it's like it's in normal yogurts. You know what I mean? But I think they may have changed that again to to accommodate everybody, even the non-lactose intolerant and vegetarians and everything else. So that may have changed. I really loaded up my crackers.
Yes, you did. And just Now I have another section about how cheese is made, but we've kind of covered it. We talked about the rennet, the whey, the curd, salt.
Tell us about just one or two of the unusual traditions.
Yeah, I kind of just went a bit nuts.
Because we're only half an hour in. I know we're finished. When you're finished, I still have 3 pieces of cheese here.
I still have a lot of crackers. I must say, I wouldn't be a huge fan of Jacob's cream crackers. I would be more of a fan of those nicely flavoured ones.
These aren't even Jacob's cream crackers. These are the off-brand version you can buy in the supermarket.
Well then,
even more so.
My fancy self today, I'm just going to push it out just because it's means I can chill now. Oh, yeah, it's the life.
This is the life, brother.
This is really nice.
Fancy things in life. Go on, hit me with some
what unusual traditions involve cheese? So cheese is such a popular food in many areas of the world that it should come as no surprise that there are numerous traditions related to it. Some will involve eating cheese in ways that seem odd to Americans and other people from the West, while others use the cheese in a different way entirely. Here are some of the unusual ways and traditions that people have with cheese. Cheese rolling in England. Perhaps the most famous unusual cheese-related tradition is cheese rolling in Gloucestershire, England. This is a bank holiday that occurs in the late spring and is an interesting take on racing. The race involves following a rolling round of cheese, specifically double Gloucester. Did we have Gloucester cheese?
We have. This is double Gloucester with chive, yeah.
Very nice. Basically, they chase a big roll of it down a hill. The first person to cross the finish line wins. Tradition dictates. After that, the winner runs back up Cooper's Hill, where it takes place. While the tradition may seem tame, injuries do occur, including concussions and broken noses. This tradition likely has its roots in pagan traditions that celebrated rebirth following winter. Interestingly enough, it was officially banned because of health and safety concerns in 2010, but it still continues unofficially every year.
Now, I'm just going to put these out of the way, but I dare you to Google the videos of that cheese rolling down the hill. It is nuts. Brilliant. I mean,
it's brilliant though. Yes.
Oh, it's nuts. It's brilliantly nuts. I mean, those guys are absolutely off their tree crazy. I mean, I've seen them bouncing themselves down the hills. It's just,
faster than the cheese is rolling.
Some of them have actually outpaced the cheese, you're right.
When we were chatting about it, because obviously when we talked about doing the episode, this tradition is one of the first things that probably pops to your head when someone thinks of cheese and weird things. Yeah. And I was saying to you that now it's not cheese related, but another thing that people do is it's the shin kicking competition. Oh. Yeah. I don't know where it takes place now. I've just seen it. I was on one of these shows, like the top 20 weird things on the internet, and one of them was a video that someone uploaded of the competition. It's basically two people, it doesn't have to be man, it could be man or woman, hold each other's shoulders and they take turns kicking each other in the shins. And the first person obviously to either collapse in pain or just,
Yeah, I'm in pain just thinking about it. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow. That does sound quite disturbing. I have seen the Russian women slapping it at that competition where they slap each other in the faces. Is it a face slap or there's the one? What's the one where they slap each other in the arse?
Oh, I don't know that one.
Or was that's just some dirty video I made?
Probably. In other news,
but yeah, they do slap each other in the face, and it was wow.
It is horrendous to watch.
Mm.
It is like.
It was crazy.
I used to play dead arm competitions with my mates when I was like a teenager.
I used to do that slaps thing. Yeah.
Or that.
Oh yeah, no, that one I did. It was always like, if you flinch, you have to hold your hand there and get a clap.
The other one was very similar. It's like that, and then if you got and the other one's got flinches, you get two for flinching. Yes, moving on. Yes. Cacio al Fuso in Italy. The British aren't the only people who have strange traditions when it comes to cheese. Cacio al Fuso is a game that is very similar to long bowls, but uses an actual wheel of cheese as the ball.
Okay.
The game is played in Pienza, a Tuscan hilltop town known for its Pecorino cheese. Pecorino cheese. The game takes place in the Piazza Pio II, the central plaza in the town. During the game, you roll the cheese wheel towards the central wooden peg in the middle of a marble ring in the pavement. Keep in mind that you have to roll it from a designated rug at a certain distance, similar to how you release a bowling ball away from the pins. Outside of this ring, there are additional rings marked with chalk. You get points based on how close to the centre of the ring you get. Amazingly enough, the marble ring uses the game, and it has been around for about 500 years.
That to me sounds very much like a jobs program with the Americans subsidizing corn farmers in America. They're producing too much cheese in Italy. What are we going to do with all this cheese? Let's roll it down here and play a game with it. Like, we can't eat it. It's just too much. Let's fucking roll it down there. I mean, like, come on. Well, we could play bowls with this ball. No, we have too much cheese. Get rid of the cheese.
Perfect for us.
Yes. That's brilliant. I love that.
Oh, the Italians.
Those Italians.
Traditions with eating cheese then, last little bit. In addition to unusual traditions that use cheese in interesting ways, some simply involve cheese choices that are unusual to some. We mentioned this is the same cheese I spoke of earlier. There is a Sardinian traditional cheese making made using sheep's milk, for example, named Casu Marzu. The cheese is fermented until it starts, blah blah blah. I won't read the rest about that because we already spoke about it earlier. For a tradition that you may be willing to try, go north to Canada and try poutine.
Isn't that gravy and chips?
Poutine. Could be. I know poutin is fucking French, I think.
Pouton. Yeah. Pouton is
pouton. Yeah. The idea of putting cheese curds and gravy, there you go, on fries is odd to many Americans, but it is an incredibly popular food in Canada.
I didn't realize it was. Oh yes, there's a chocolate or two there. The true or false questions.
Yes.
I didn't realize though that there was the cheese curds were in the gravy. I knew it was gravy on chips. Now I mean the Americans are straight enough for themselves. They have what they call biscuits and gravy. Sorry, I'm regurgitating.
Biscuits gravy. Yeah.
And they're scones.
They're scones, literally.
Scones with gravy.
Yeah,
that is weird as yes. Unfortunately, we don't have any fromage or no fromage signs. Sorry, I'll try and get them both on the camera. Jesus, there we go. The camera is actually real, and I'm looking at the screen behind us to try and do it. And I'm so used to being on that side of the screen.
Yeah, that's weird. I'm like leaning over
here.
It
looks weird, yeah. And I'm like, oh no, I have to go back to it. Okay, so I have my true, which is, as always, chocolate. And my false, which as always is caca. And as you can see, still has
Trump is still
le président de Donald.
Yes.
Now,
okay. The true and false are a mixture of cheese-related ones and non-cheese, because I couldn't find enough. There's a good few, so we'll rattle on through them. Right. Only 4% of Americans surveyed consider themselves less intelligent than average.
4% of Americans think they're stupid, basically. Yeah. Now this is one of those double bluffs where no, they wouldn't say they're stupid, and then you go, they are stupid Americans. I'm going to go with chocolate. True.
You are correct, sir.
Hopefully everyone's keeping score at home in the competition between Eamonn and Kevin in the yes. I was stupid when I did my survey and it was all true facts and I tried to read them out differently.
I started doing that, but I was like, they're all true. They're all changing this.
Yeah. Yeah. Go.
Next one. So, you are more likely to be legally executed than killed by lightning.
Oh, that's chocolate.
That is shocking.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, it's one of the interesting things about the death penalty is it's the country of Le Donald is one of only, I think, about 5 or 6 countries that still have the death penalty. And China is not one of them.
Come on.
Yes. Go for it.
This is very easy one. I think you'll get this one. You only use 10% of your brain.
That is.
I'm talking about you.
Any more than I just be embarrassing people. That is actually Le Donald Trump. It is poo-poo.
It is a poo-poo.
Yes, it is
caca.
poo-poo. It is caca, my friend. That is not true. Because, what would be the point? It's like one of those myths about daddy long-legged spiders having the most poisonous venomous.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you create something if you're not going to use it? It's the same thing with the brain. Why have a brain this size if only 10% of it's functioning? The rest of it, you're using all of it all the time. It's just,
well, different parts of it all,
light up at different times.
Exactly. Yeah. Right, next one. More than half of all pilots admit to sleeping on the job.
Oh, it's probably true, but whether they admit to it though is the trick. Okay, well, you know what, we'll go with chocolate.
Jeez, you're on a run, it's true.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if he has a co-pilot, he probably could, if it's a 16-hour flight, he probably could put his head back and get a couple of hours. Hence the why there's a co-pilot. Okay.
Next one. The average person spends 5 years waiting in line in their lifetime.
Oh, that is totally chocolate. I've wasted so much of my own life waiting.
Yeah, fairness. That is false. Poker
it's 10
face.
years, isn't it? It's 10 years.
I don't actually know. I forgot to put the little bit at the bottom.
It's 5.2 years.
5.009 or something. Right. The most stolen food item in the world is cheese, with 4% of all cheese being sold end up stolen.
Well, I'm going to go with chocolate. That is true because you know those little tiny ones that you can get in the supermarket.
Oh,
you know what I mean? People are bound to be, I'm going to eat that and open and walk around. It's like a grape. People pick grapes and they're I'm going to go with that's true.
That is
4% of cheese gets stolen.
Very true. By age 3, rich kids have learned 30 million more words than very poor kids.
Again, I'm going to go with chocolate. That is yes, because when I was when we would have went and done our college courses and all that, you would have obviously done a little bit of developmental psychology, and people who have more money tend to have more time, and they tend to spend more time with their kids and talk more to them, and read to them
more
and things like that.
Yes.
I'm going to say yes.
It is true. Rich kids have more words learned by the age 3.
I'm Donald. I have the best words. Obviously, Daddy loves me and talks to me a lot.
Was it his granddad that bailed him out or something?
No, it was his dad. Yeah. I mean, Donald Trump started his life, pulled himself up by his bootstraps, and got a $6 million loan from his father.
He's a hard-working American.
The American dream.
Yeah. Only 5% of people wash their hands properly after using the restroom.
Oh, that's definitely got to be capped. I'd say it's fucking less than 2%. I mean, I doubt
it's true.
That's true. Yeah, it's true.
It's only 3% difference, so it's pretty
3%.
bad.
Yeah, I'd say less than 5% actually wash their fucking hands. Oh God!
Anyway, 1 in every 200 men on Earth is descended from Genghis Khan. This is the piece that we talked about earlier.
Well, we go with true chocolate because he was a very, very rapey man, and so were his horse milk cheese and eating.
So were his horses.
Well, but so were his horse milk drinking soldiers, and cheese fermenting soldiers. Very rapey men.
This is true.
True.
I think it's 0. In the area is like 0.5% or something, or something like that. I don't remember exactly. Next one. 50% of wealth on planet Earth is controlled by 1% of the population.
Oh, I'm going to go true. Chocolate.
It is true.
It is, yeah.
Rothschilds and a few others.
Bill Gates and there's probably those Indian billionaires as well. The guys who were in the
the Amazon owner.
Oh yeah. Mr. Bezos.
Mr. Bezos, yes.
He has the supervillain laugh. Google it. Google a YouTube video of Jeff Bezos laughing, and I swear to God, that man is like Lex Luthor.
He's bald, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's bald. Like he's as fucking as bald as I am, nearly, but more so. But like he has a Lex Luthor laugh. It's sinister. If you're that rich, you shouldn't laugh like that.
It's a real dead giveaway.
Oh God, yeah.
80% of Soviets males born in 1923 were killed in World War II.
80% of Soviet men born in 1923, which means they're in their 20s.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm going to say that is true. I mean, they lost something like anywhere between 20 to 25 million people in they somebody said to me like that the US between the war in Japan and in Europe suffered anywhere up to about 500,000 casualties from the start of the war to the end from combat, and it was like the Russians lost 25 million or more. You know, it's pales.
It's false. Now, it's not far off in there. Around 2/3 of males born in the Soviet Union in 1923 were dead by the time of World War II. However, most of them died before the war even started, thanks to childhood illness, normal infant mortality, or starvation.
Yeah.
Comrades.
If it's real socialism, you would not be so big. You would not have breasts as big. You would be stronger.
Humans share 95% of their DNA with bananas.
Bananas.
In pajamas.
It's not bonobos, no. It's definitely not a typo, isn't it?
B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
I'm gonna go with poo-poo. Le Donalds, don't mess me now.
It is false. Yeah! Only 60%.
Only 60%.
I'd say. 90. When cheese is digested, it breaks down into an opioid. Other opioids you may know are heroin and morphine. Is it true or false?
No, that's le poo-poo. False.
You're wrong. It is true.
Donald failed me.
It's fake news.
Fake news. Stop counting it. Fake news.
True or false? Is it's fake news, guys?
I'm winning. I've won this competition already.
Jesus Christ! Oh, you actually can't write this shit like.
I know, yeah.
Stay away from all that.
Sorry, I shouldn't be doing the voices. Sorry, go ahead.
The Greater Tokyo area has a bigger population than Canada.
No. Think about it is Tokyo has something like 20-something million people living in it. Canada obviously has more than 20 million people living in it. Tokyo is one of like the densest populated cities in the world.
True or false?
Oh no, it's definitely going to be. It's false. That is poo poo, Kevin.
I am afraid it is true.
Oh,
with 37.8 million people living in Tokyo.
37.8 million. Jesus.
As of 2016, now it's 4 years out of date.
Wow.
It's got more people than the entire country of Canada, which is population 35.
Wow, is that 35 million Canadians?
Yeah, I suppose they have all the.
Well, that is a long. They have a very long. This way, a very long border with the US, and then it's just empty. Wow, 35 million.
Yeah, it's a lot. I was shocked at that.
Tokyo is like that is a lot of Japanese people in one place.
Nearly done.
Yes.
Most kidnapped kids are taken by strangers.
That is boo-boo.
That is correct. It's false. Yeah,
yes.
don't take by people they know.
Yes, it's the same with sexual offenders. They're usually people you know.
Family members, or close family friends. Yeah, there are more trees on Earth than there are stars in the Milky Way galaxy.
That is le poo-poo.
That is le poo-poo. It is true. It's a double poo-poo. You're wrong, and it's not wrong. It is true.
That can't be true.
There's more than 3 trillion trees on Earth. They outnumber the 100 to 400 billion stars in the Milky Way by quite a big margin. That's mad, isn't it? I'm shocked at that.
I want that.
I'm
googling that. Yeah, I don't trust this shit. I want to recount. That's not pure horseshit.
And the next one might get you out as well.
Okay.
There are more libraries in the US than there are McDonald's.
Oh, that one definitely has to be false.
No.
There can't be. No, come on. There can't be more libraries.
This is true.
There can't be more libraries than there are McDonald's in America. Have you seen these people? Jesus Christ.
Well, there's always Wendy's.
Yeah, there's always Wendy's and White Castle and Burger King.
White Castle. Oh,
yeah, I went to San Francisco once. I know we're ragging on the Americans. They're lovely people. I'm only thinking of
Sparrow Pizza.
Yeah. What?
Sparrow Pizza, did you ever hear that?
No, I didn't see that one when
I used to
there.
work for them. They had a shop in Newbridge in Whitewater when they opened. I was a pizza chef for like a year. And lovely pizza. Very big in America. It's on the East Coast, like New York and all that kind of stuff.
I worked with Papa John's when I worked in supermarkets. It was Papa John's pizza we got. Like it was alright.
But make the dough fresh?
No, it came in.
You made the dough fresh.
Oh, you made your own dough.
Sparrow Pizza.
There you go. But when I visited San Francisco, I had White Castle and I had a hot dog down at Fisherman's Wharf and all that kind of thing. Yeah, it's nice.
2 left. 15% of all Google daily searches have never been searched for before.
15%.
Yeah, that's a high number, like.
Yeah, that's got to be poo-poo because I mean, a lot. I'd say a good 85% of Google searches are porn, free porn, and just boobs and stuff like that. So it can't be.
Sorry,
that
buddy.
Oh, come on.
You started off great, now you're just going a bit like Trump.
A bit like yeah. a little like Monsieur President.
He's coming to bite you in the ass now, buddy.
Do you know what? What could be worse is bite us in the ass. We finish filming this, turn on YouTube, and see that he's actually fucking won. And I want a drone strike on those two. They're banned from the United States. They never can.
That's alright. Well, I actually really would love to go back. But yeah, anyway. The last one is a cheese one, just purely because of the cheese, and I thought it was really cool. Scientists have successfully created cheese using human bacteria collected from toes and belly buttons.
I am going to go with Le Chocolat.
It's true!
It's true! Because you can make milk, you can make ice cream out of human milk. There is an ice cream parlour in London that sells breast milk ice cream. Very tempted. Very tempted to never fucking set foot in it as well.
That was our cheese.
That was our cheese episode. That was a good. We're at 46 minutes there, my friend. That was a very good of the finer things in life edition.
Of the finer, softer
things in life.
I'm just getting our song ready. Sorry.
Oh yes. Well, should I end on our fancy music?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
I will end.
As we started.
Fancy.
Well, before we play it, will we talk about next episode? What are we doing?
Oh yes, for the next episode. What do you feel like doing for the next episode?
Oh, I picked this one, so maybe you pick something.
Oh, okay. Well, I have an idea for the next Finer Things in Life edition, which should be, I was thinking sausage meat. We could do one like of salamis, chorizos, parma hams, those antipastas and all that kind of thing. Yeah. That'll be our next Finer Things in Life. But that won't be this next episode. This is episode 7. Episode 6 was the Halloween episode.
Which I haven't uploaded, sorry.
That's okay. Wait, they won't know. When you uploaded before this. So yes, it's the Halloween episode. I hope you enjoyed it. This is episode 7, the Finer Things in Life. But episode 8, episode 9 we'll do the salami sausage one. I want to know the Finer Things in Life. We'll just
do a normal episode then.
We'll do a normal episode, yeah.
We'll just shoot the breeze, talk
about
stuff.
I think we should go a little off topic. Okay. Just go rogue. Let's just wing it and just because
do a little bit of practice.
You're a very funny dude.
I'm alright.
You are.
I'm okay.
Yeah, I get that.
I actually really enjoyed our Halloween episode. Again, I haven't uploaded it yet, but who's going to know? Well, obviously when you see this episode after watching the Halloween one first.
Yes. Watch the Halloween one first.
Yes. Please.
You will know. It's a split screen. We zoomed.
Yes.
Zoomed.
Rough work.
Zoomed out.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, I really enjoyed that one. We just kind of talked and just shot the breeze.
It was really cool.
Tim Curry actually is alive.
Yes,
I had no fucking idea Tim Curry was alive.
Tim Curry was dead.
I thought Tim Curry was dead.
He's not.
He's not.
He's not.
He's I do have a little piece of news actually. I could say hello to somebody very special.
Yes.
To the podcast. Somebody very special to the podcast. I'm on Twitter.
Yes, I am as well.
And so is the good Kevin. I generally tend to use Twitter for my my video gaming channel, but I do always give a shout out to this channel when we do upload episodes and all that. And it is the young man who played. It's a Star Trek actor, and he played Icheb on Star Trek Voyager. Now let me just see if I can. I apologize if I pronounce your name incorrectly. It's Manu Intiarami.
Manu Intiarami.
There you go.
Say it really fast.
Yeah. And there he is.
So he's all grown up. Icheb's all grown up.
I love the beard. I'm just going to tilt it down.
It's
not too shiny.
Nice I
love the old beard. Yeah, it's a bit of salt and pepper in there.
Definitely.
Bit of salt and pepper. His bio says that it's art for life. He's an actor, writer, producer, and he says don't take life too seriously. It's just a simulation. Empathy before everything, and have a sense of humour.
Liberal,
and he obviously with that I'm assuming that's got to do with his the American election. Vote him out was what he said. Yeah. But there you go. He lives in Los Angeles. So hello to you.
Hello
from the gentleman of
the Chocolate and Poo, the podcast.
Yes. But always a pleasure, never a chore. And if at some stage we ever do another Star Trek episode, we should invite you. I'll send you a message and see if we can Zoom call with you.
I've also purchased Armin Shimmerman's book.
Oh yes, so, please tell about this.
Well, I bought it and I will get it soon. It's coming from America, but once I get it, I will read it and we'll maybe talk about it. We'll do an episode.
Oh yeah, look, you read it and we'll talk about it. I mean, especially Now, that book is going to be your project because I did say before in the previous episode, English history, especially Shakespearean history, was never my forte. I do like English history actually. I've read a bit of early Roman English history and the Viking Age and the Norman invasions of England and all that, but like Shakespearean history, no, not really.
Not really your
No,
thing.
no, Napoleonic history, that period in England is very interesting as well, but Shakespearean, I could take it or leave it.
Right.
So there we go.
That's for a lovely episode of the finer things.
The finer things in life, yes.
And always remember, guys, don't forget
Forget to flush.